Hey YouTube, Mike here. How are we all doing today on this fine Monday afternoon? Hope we all had a very good weekend. Over the weekend I built that gaming table. Took about 2 hours. I have to edit the video. I don't want to put 4 30-minute videos on. But I'm going to show you a quick shot of the table. I have it about half painted. Still have to take it apart, paint the legs. And also I received a request from a viewer to see what was inside of my Festools. So I'm going to give a quick tour of what I have inside of my Festools. Also, I did change the shop around. I got rid of half of Old Betsy, and I got rid of the rolling cart and put all of my sysports on top of the wall of sustainers. Alright, let me take this off the stand and I'll show you the gaming table first. Okay, here's the table. I have it, I got the top, I got 1 coat of sealer and 2 coats of midnight black, and the shelf. Now I have to take it all apart and do the legs, do the stringers, do the underside, and it has to stay apart because that's the way I have to transport it. There is the where the mat goes, and then the perimeter around the table is roughly about 6 inches all the way around, and that's where each player will put their little doodads to play the game. And I'll post a video of it in the store once I get it all leaded up and in the store. Okay, here is that 2-drawer that I built. Now you're going to see some very old yellow sustainers, and I'm going to do a quick story on how I actually got into Festools, and which was about 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I wrote into Festool about it, and they published it in their Festool North American site on Facebook. So in this one, I have my TS55, and then above it I have clamps that I use on the MFT table, and that actually is mounted right under in front of that rolling cart. As you can see, there's 2 more old sustainers, and those are those cyst boxes with the multicolor. It's got all cabinet hardware in there and shelf equipment. There's the tackle box sortainers. Okay, over here I have my vacuum clamping system, which I know I showed you, mounted onto that mobile cart. Then down here I have a Milwaukee cordless 18-volt fuel grinder with blades. And in here I have the jigsaw and another impact. Then in here I have the small sander pads and the triangle sander pads. Then in here I have the FX set for the sustainer, all that clamping modules. In here I have, let's get that locked in. In here I have the Milwaukee bandsaw. And then here's something. I saw this on the Festool site, but I'm like, wow, it's like $125. So what I did was made my own first aid kit. Painted the green knob red. And now I'll get a stencil, make that white cross, add an extra Sustainer 1, and that's where it stays. Down here is the extra clamping modules for the vacuum clamping system. In here I have the Bosch Colt trim router, my 5-inch sanding pads. In here is my router bits. It's the sustainer for the router bits. And in here is my 6-inch pads. On the top here I have the installation kit, and then this is the MFT sustainer. In here I have my RotoZip and my Dremel saw. In here I have my Milwaukee cordless hammer drill for anchors. We actually have 4 of these. We have 1 on each truck. These things work great for putting in up to like a 5/8 inch drop-in anchor or a lead shield. Down here I have the HK55, which my wife bought me for Christmas, with the small track. There's another one of those yellow sustainers. That is my 1400 router, my 1010, my 700, and then my LR32. In the next row, this is my toolbox. This is the SYS HWZ with that pull-out insert. Has all of my carpentry, all my mostly cabinet tools and stuff that I would bring to a job. My domino box, my Victaro multi-tool. Then I have the 12-volt kit with all the head attachments, and then I have the CXS kit with all the attachments. Down here I have the 150, which I used extensively on that table. These things work great. Then I have the DTS 400. The Rotex 125, the DX93, and the ETS EC 125. That is a very good, that's the new 5-inch that has the brushless motor and the brake. I also have the older 125, but that's sitting in storage in my shop. In this I have my brads, my pins, and my staples, and then my brad nailer, which is now Grex. I bought a Grex brad nailer. For those of you that saw the video on the pin nailer, I now bought the brad nailer. I mean, it is the Festool. I think that's why they painted that color green. It's the Festool of nails. Very good. And then this is a DeWalt stapler. Okay, my local Woodcraft got in the sandpaper. So I picked up a 180 roll, again 82 feet, and then I bought the sanding blocks, a 220, a 120, and a 60. There's 6 in each. But look on now their website, they have the full line of sandpaper. Okay, down here, this is not the vacuum system. This is the Colt plunge router. Then I have my DF 500 domino. These are the bases for the Carvex. I have the Carvex D handle corded. And this is the old, again, another yellow. Keep in mind the yellow now, the PS 300. I'm purchasing the Carvex battery operated barrel grip, and then I'm going to get rid of that. And then I have all my sharpening in here. This actually is off my truck. And then over here, I have my parallel guides and all of the edge guards for the routers. And then the last thing that I purchased not too long ago is the vacuum attachment. And this actually we have used to hold up a CPVC pipe while they put a hanger on one side and then come down, take that off, and put it on the other side. It works very well. And then in all the sortainers are either my edge banding, hardware, and all screws. Okay, here's half of Betsy. My son and I came here today with our work truck and got rid of the 2 ends. I put the drill press there. And as you know, I used to have the rolling cart over there, and that's now gone. All right, let me get this back up on the stand. And I'm going to give you a quick story. Okay, I know a lot of you guys probably in the woodworking in the trade, you saw Festool. Years ago, I had no idea what Festool was. I had woodworking, I had a woodworking shop in my garage, but I had no idea. At my local wood store in New York, they had the tools, but I never really even looked at them. I was a Milwaukee guy, a Bosch guy, and Makita guy. A contractor who was a good friend of mine, he owed me money. He was going through a bad time. So he said, take these tools, which were the yellow boxes that you see, plus 2 rails, the rail connectors, clamps, and a drill. The old, I think it was either a 12 or a 15 volt that had the battery in the handle, on the front of the handle, which I actually gave to someone. He said, take these and sell them on eBay. Like I said, he was a very good friend of mine. He was also a fireman with me in the battalion, so I just took them. I had them for 5 years until we moved here to Florida. And a friend of mine who was helping me out in my shop when I moved my equipment in the shop that I had to put a little woodworking shop in there, he says to me, what are you doing with Festools? I says, what are you talking about? He goes, those things right there on the pile. I said, somebody owed me money and they gave them to me. They gave you those. I said, yeah. So I was going to be cutting up some plywood. Well, he went over and grabbed the 55, told me to open up the box that had each of the rails in it. He asked me about the connectors. I said, there's an empty sustainer. There's stuff in there. He takes it all out. He puts it all together, puts it onto this plywood, cuts the piece, turns and looks at me and says, okay, you could take your chin off the floor. We spent 2 hours there in the shop with the router, with the drill, and some of the stuff was brand new, never even touched. That was it. That was it. From that day on, I started selling everything and buying Festool. So I thought that was interesting, quite funny how, you know, people get into certain things, and that's how I got into Festool. Okay, once I get this editing down, because like I said, I'm new at this video stuff, and I got to sit down with my daughter and edit the video so I can make that 2-hour thing into like 20 minutes, and I'm going to post it. All right, YouTube, thank you very much for all the subscribes and the likes and the views, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a nice day, all. Bye-bye.